So it looked like a member of the Brown staff has quit the damn team. Now, guys, I'm here to tell you, this is not a good look. And you want to know what this tells me? The boat is sinking and people ain't going down with the Titanic. The Cleveland Browns is in disarray. When you start seeing members of the staff quitting, leaving, mind you guys, the season is still going on. Oh my goodness, this is looking
The Browns just hit their boiling point. Jimmy Haslam's losing his mind, the locker room's on edge. And guess who's somehow in the middle of it? Yep, Shedeur Sanders, the college star who's turning more heads in Cleveland than the actual quarterbacks. Something big's brewing, and it's not just Haslam's temper. From chaos in the front office to whispers about Shedeur's shocking next move, this might be the meltdown that flips the whole Brown story on its head.
What you see out of him that he'd be able to play?
Yeah, I think, take these things by the hour, if you will, but he's working very hard.
Do you still expect him to be ready to go?
I do.
It looks like Shedeur came through your last couple of practices. Okay, will he be your number 2?
He will be the number 2, yes.
Injury pop up and pass on him?
Yeah, popped up, I guess was that Wednesday? Didn't practice yesterday. Limited today.
Talking about Hurl fan in June.
Very similar, see how it does over the next 48.
If you're enjoying, please subscribe Shedeur Sanders to the channel. It helps more than you think. So apparently, the Cleveland Browns just hit the self-destruct button. Again. You'd think after decades of chaos they'd run out of ways to implode. But no. This team keeps finding new creative strategies to burn itself alive. This time it's Jimmy Haslam doing his best impression of a CEO on a caffeine overdose. Cleaning house like he's scrubbing stains out of a white couch.
You know what this means, y'all? This means Kevin and Andrew future ain't looking good. Nah, I don't think it's looking good, y'all. I think Kevin and Andrew future is looking very, very bad. Oh, very bad. Now, y'all heard him right. He's seen the writing on the wall because he's potentially finna get fired. Word on the street is that they finna clean house. Jimmy Haslam is about to clean house, bro. Listen.
In the Ken Rosenthal report, he correctly attributes the idea that no one from the Browns media has been able to speak to DePodesta since March of 2022.
When staff start quitting during the season, it's not just bad, it's apocalyptic. You don't abandon ship in the middle of a game, unless you see the iceberg already coming through the window. The Browns' ship isn't sinking. It's already underwater and everyone's pretending those bubbles are progress.
Could possibly be their answer for the Cleveland Browns franchise. Shedeur Sanders is a 5th round draft pick that haven't hit the field yet, but if somebody in that building knows Shedeur is that dude. I know Kevin Step Fancy want to showcase Dylan Gabriel, but it haven't worked out yet. A Brown insider right now gonna tell you about Dylan Gabriel.
And this latest exit? A chief strategy officer packing up his analytics, his coffee mug, and his last shred of hope, then walking straight into baseball. Baseball. Imagine being so done with football that you'd rather manage a team that plays 162 games a year just to win 70. That's not career change, that's witness protection.
Now, we did find out today that Shedeur Sanders will be the backup. He will be active on Saturday. On Sunday. How you feeling? Feeling good?
I feel fine. So Ken's take was that he'd be inactive, or he was fine with him being inactive?
I think he wanted him to be inactive.
He wanted him to be inactive. Why?
Now we're doing what the morning show does. I think this is what they said.
All the videos suggest that he looks good. The team is telling you now that he is fine and cleared. He should be active.
I still just don't believe that.
Now, personally, I don't really care one way or another if he's active or inactive, because I don't want his first start to be, or his first debut coming after a halftime benching.
You don't.
So now the Rockies might hire the Browns analytics guru, Paul DePodesta. And everyone's acting like this is just business. Oh, please. You don't leave an NFL team in the middle of the season unless you know a broom is being sharpened with your name on it. This man didn't just pursue another opportunity. He escaped like a spy who saw the red light blinking on his company laptop. The moment that news dropped, you could practically hear the panic inside the Browns facility. Kevin Stefanski's face probably looked like a man who just realized the group project manager quit 5 hours before the presentation. Andrew Barry's probably Googling NFL jobs that don't involve Jimmy Haslam at 2 a.m. It's chaos disguised as structure. You can almost imagine Haslam standing in front of the mirror like a mad king saying, "We're gonna fix this team, even if I have to fire every single human being with a pulse." And at this point, he might actually do it. Coaches, analysts, interns, probably the guy who refills the Gatorade. Everyone's nervous. When the owner's on a cleaning spree, you don't ask questions, you just start updating your resume. And Kevin Stefanski, the man's holding onto his job like it's a greased football in a thunderstorm.
The fact that he did say that Shedeur Sanders is quarterback 2, he's the backup for Sunday's game. But he also alluded to expecting some inclement weather in New York. So what does that do for Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel? Now, we saw what Dylan Gabriel did in Miami when the inclement weather hit. They dinked and dunked and ran the ball. And they had to take him out in the red zone and put Quinshon Judkins in there to run the Wildcat. So does this play a factor in what Dylan Gabriel is going to be capable of doing? Because, you know, Shedeur Sanders can play in the rain. We saw him against Baylor.
You can tell he's already accepted fate. He's coaching with the energy of a guy whose lease expires next week. You know that vibe when your boss stops replying to your emails and starts checking in, unannounced. Yeah, that's where Kevin's living right now. But here's the funniest part. Everyone's whispering about Shedeur Sanders, because apparently somehow this kid keeps floating around in every Browns conversation like the ghost of football future. People are wondering if he's the turning point, the spark, the next headline. Because when everything's burning, fans need hope, or at least a distraction. And man, Shedeur has been that distraction. Every Browns fan scrolling through highlights can't help but picture him in orange and brown, saving the city like a football messiah. But knowing Cleveland, they'd probably draft him, bench him, and then blame him for global warming. Meanwhile, Jimmy Haslam's over there, allegedly cleaning house like he's Marie Kondo with a vendetta. Does this coach bring joy? No, fire him. Does this GM spark optimism? Nope, fire him too. Does the quarterback make the owner feel calm and centered? Definitely not. Bring in someone else. It's like the Browns are stuck in a permanent reboot cycle. Only the updates keep crashing mid-install. And let's talk about Paul DePodesta for a second. The man's been in Cleveland nearly a decade, but if you told fans he was a myth, most would believe you. Nobody's seen him, nobody's heard from him. He's like the Loch Ness monster of the Browns front office.
A long, long time. That's like 60 years in the real world. It's not an exaggeration, right? So they went 3-14 last year, and the offense they're trotting out this year is even worse. Like, to me, there's a mountain of evidence that says it's just time to move on. And people don't want that, and it's not easy for the next guy. And when the next guy does come, it's easy to tear it down. It's not easy to build it back up. We've seen that time and time and time again, right? But like, they went all in on last year and this year, and they're failing. They're not losing because there's 12 starters on IR. They're not losing because their team's making 60-yard field goals at the buzzer. They are consistently putting out an offense that has no chance, right? And they didn't address wide receiver in the draft, and they didn't address O-line in the draft, and they drafted Dylan Gabriel in the top 100 and said he's going to give it a shot, and he has no shot.
And now, suddenly, he's gone. Vanished to the Rockies like he's on a witness relocation plan for failed football strategists. And the best part? Nobody in the media has talked to this guy since 2022. 2 years of total silence. In Cleveland, that's not mysterious, it's suspicious. It's like finding out your accountant moved to Vegas and never told you. So when he bolts for baseball, it's not a coincidence, it's survival instinct. You can just picture him sitting in his office like, I see what's coming. I'm not waiting to be Haslammed. That's right, he didn't quit. He escaped before the reset button hit. This man looked at the Browns playbook, saw the word future crossed out with permanent marker, and said, yeah, I'm good. And Jimmy Haslam, oh, he's definitely fuming. You can almost hear him pacing through the facility, muttering about culture, leadership, and the process, while half the staff is quietly emailing recruiters under the desk. Haslam's energy right now is the same as a dad who finally checks the family Wi-Fi bill and finds out the kids have been buying NFTs. The man's ready to rebuild from scratch, again. Which for Cleveland is basically tradition. Every few years they hit the panic button, reset the whole front office and tell the fans, this time, It's different. Spoiler, it's never different. The Browns are like that one friend who swears they've changed every New Year's. Then you see them 2 months later doing the same dumb stuff but with more confidence.
Sanders should be back, if not this week soon, but he should be back. But the big thing here with the Cleveland Browns is that DeBattista is gone. They're about to clean some house. Stefanski better count his days. The Jets know Dylan Gabriel sucks. They know that Dylan Gabriel ain't it. They know that he is just going to throw the short ball and that they got to run it all game long.
I know exactly what the coach is trying to do. He's trying to do a good job of making sure that he brings this quarterback along slowly. They're leaning on the run game, and they're obviously giving him a chance to get the ball out quick.
Everybody's sick of Dylan Gabriel not being able to chuck the ball downfield.
And then you've got the fans, poor souls. Every offseason, they talk themselves into hope like it's a group therapy session. New schemes, new systems, new players. It all sounds so fresh until week 3, when everyone's screaming at the TV again. Now with this whole front office circus, the fans are just bracing for impact. Meanwhile, somewhere out there, Shedeur's probably watching all this madness thinking, man, maybe I'll just chill at Colorado a bit longer. Because Cleveland might look like opportunity from afar, but up close, it's like volunteering to fix a roller coaster mid-ride. And let's be honest, Jimmy Haslam's rage isn't just about losing an executive. This is years of frustration boiling over. He spent millions, changed coaches like socks, and still, the Browns keep finding new ways to trip over their own shoelaces. Now he's finally had enough. The man's ready to do what billionaires do best. Make impulsive, emotion-driven decisions and call it restructuring. You just know this offseason's going to be wild. There'll be press conferences full of new direction talk, statements about accountability, and enough buzzwords to make your eyes roll into next season. And behind all that PR polish, Jimmy will still be raging that his billion-dollar team looks like a reality show without a script. But
kind of game that if the Browns were to lose, they dropped to 2-7 on the season, playoffs division completely out of the picture, that some veterans might be starting to turn their attention to Cancun and off-season plans as opposed to the final 8 games of the season.
I think that if they lose this game and it doesn't go well for them, all those little ancillary pieces that have been put aside, or those veteran players, as you mentioned, Mikey, maybe start to think about 1, 2, 3 Cancun. It would be a very frustrating situation for this team.
But hey, you can't blame him completely. At this point, watching the Browns try to manage themselves is like watching a toddler juggle fireworks. You don't know whether to laugh, cry, or call for help. The real kicker? The staffers leaving aren't even waiting for pink slips. They're quitting voluntarily. That's how toxic it's gotten. When your chief strategist chooses the Colorado Rockies over you, that's not career mobility. That's a cry for peace. That's like saying, I'd rather manage a baseball team rebuilding since the Bush administration than deal with another Monday meeting in Berea. And you just know what's coming next. Once Haslam starts cleaning, it's never just one person. It's an avalanche. First the analytics guy, then the coach, then the GM, maybe even the mascot if he blinks wrong. The janitor's probably looking nervous right now, wondering if sweeping the wrong hallway could end his contract. Kevin Stefanski, bless his heart, probably knows he's next. The man's out there coaching with the enthusiasm of someone who's already mentally moved to Oregon. He's running plays like a farewell tour, rotating quarterbacks like a guy flipping channels mid-game. You can tell he's thinking, fine, you want to fire me? Cool, but you're going down with me. And then there's the Shedeur subplot, the internet's favorite rumor factory. Every time chaos hits Cleveland, someone mentions his name like it's a prophecy. Maybe Shedeur's the future. Oh yeah, because what better way to fix a historic mess than tossing a college kid into the fire pit? Still,
Who's right now? Shedeur Sanders back at practice, and we got the clips. We got practice clips here on Shedeur Sanders, seeing how his back is looking, and it's a small sample, but as you can see, we're back out there. We're moving around. We're at practice. Here you get a better look.
Still, it's kind of poetic. The Browns are collapsing from the inside, and everyone's talking about a Sanders rescue arc. Because when your organization looks like a sinking ship, all you can do is fantasize about a lifeboat with a Heisman smile. But don't get it twisted. this isn't just another bad week. This feels like the start of something bigger, like the Browns are finally gearing up for another full-blown franchise reset. New leadership, new direction, same results incoming. And Haslam's eruption isn't subtle either. Word around town is he's tired of excuses, tired of next year promises, tired of seeing the Ravens win while his team's trending for all the wrong reasons. So now he's going nuclear. The vibe in that building right now must be pure tension. Like everyone's walking around with an invisible, to be fired soon sticker. It's the Browns cycle in its purest form. Hype, hope, heartbreak, house cleaning, repeat. But there's something almost impressive about it. Cleveland's ability to self-destruct is unmatched. Other franchises rebuild, Cleveland reincarnates. Every few years, the team dies, gets reborn with new faces, and somehow ends up in the same place anyway. It's a sports déjà vu, and yet here we are again. Executives fleeing, coaches sweating, owners raging, and Shedeur Sanders hovering in the narrative like a mythical fix. Somewhere a Browns fan is polishing their vintage jersey, whispering, maybe this time.
Dylan was like, wow, I wonder why they would draft a guy to be in the quarterback room right after they drafted him. So, I mean, looking over your shoulder a little bit, and the media, of course, glorifies, of course, the Shedeur draft pick, and his status in the national spotlight stuff. I mean, all that. It's got to be hard on Dylan, and then Shedeur's got to go prove himself, too, because they're not paying him as much. He was a guy that maybe should have been drafted early, and people didn't want to jump in there on him. So, I mean, it's tough for both of them, to be honest.
It's the eternal optimism of Cleveland, hope powered by caffeine and trauma. At this point, the Browns don't even need a new playbook. They need an exorcist. Forget analytics, bring in a priest. Still, you have to hand it to Jimmy Haslam. The man's passionate. When things go wrong, he doesn't just sit quietly. He erupts like a volcano in a suit. He's had enough of mediocrity. Enough of people cashing checks for losing seasons. Enough of feeling like his billion-dollar franchise is being run like a group project gone rogue. So yeah, he's cleaning the house. Everyone's nervous, everyone's gossiping, and deep down, everyone knows what's next. A few weeks from now, there'll be more firings, more resignations, more headlines. And somewhere, Shedeur's name will get tossed around again, just to keep hope alive. Because that's what Cleveland does. Fall apart beautifully, rebuild dramatically, and believe again stubbornly. And in the middle of all that chaos, you can almost hear the city sigh. Maybe next season. Oh, we're not even close to done. The Browns drama is like one of those reality shows you can't turn off, even though your soul hurts. So Haslam's raging, Stefanski's in full I'm already fired mode. And somewhere in Berea, Shedeur Sanders is probably watching the chaos unfold, with the kind of smirk that says, "This is why I went to college first." Meanwhile, Andrew Berry is probably refreshing job boards like it's a Fortnite loot drop. He knows the countdown clock is ticking, and the Browns front office is about to resemble a revolving door in a hurricane.
So they get to 11-on-11 session, apparently, and they've got the first team defense out there, but it's the second team offense going against the first team. And who's leading the second team offense? It's Shedeur Sanders. So Shedeur Sanders is taking reps, and this is what we've been asking for forever. He's taking reps against the first team defense. And by all accounts, Kid held his own. And you got to remember when we're talking about this, I'm not saying that Shedeur Sanders took first team reps. He did not. He took second team reps against the first team defense. He's playing with the second string offensive line.
And the funniest part? Jimmy Haslam probably thinks he's being subtle, but subtle isn't in his vocabulary. He's ready to fire anyone who looks at a clipboard the wrong way. You're not safe even if your job title is Waterboy. And let's talk about the optics here. Fans see resignations and freak out. Media spins conspiracy theories. And Haslam's over there polishing his angry billionaire energy like a diamond. Cleveland's never had a slow burn. It's a full-on ignition. And somewhere in the middle of this inferno, Shedeur Sanders' name keeps coming up. Everyone's whispering about a turning point, like he's some magic lever that can flip the Browns from dumpster fire to playoff contender overnight. Newsflash: it won't be overnight, but in Cleveland, hope sells tickets and chaos sells stories. You can picture the locker room now. Coaches whispering, players watching from the corner. and Haslam pacing with the fury of a man who just realized the entire season was a group project he didn't even get credit for. Stefanski's probably throwing plays down the tunnel just to feel alive. Meanwhile, Shedeur's quietly preparing to either save the franchise or watch it implode for material later. So the Browns are entering full-on chaos mode, staff fleeing, owner exploding, and Shedeur Sanders lurking like a plot twist in a horror comedy. The only certainty? Cleveland's mess is about to get even messier, and somehow we're all here for it.